This one is up more on the weird factor than it is in the creepy factor, but we decided to add it because, well, if you're in a dark area and you listen to this, it's gotta be kind of scary. But other than the hilarious face aside, this video is more weird and kind of... We don't really know what to say about this one, but it is somewhat hilarious.
Because it's not really a major video on YouTube with a backstory or anything. It is just the SpongeBob SquarePants theme, but 800% slower, and that's pretty much all there is to say. And it's not really that creepy, it's just weird, and at parts hilarious.
I know, I mean, I don't really know why this is on its list, but we are kicking off with something simple today, so yeah.
Number 19.
There's good reason for my glistening skin.
What creepy videos list would be complete without the work of Little Baby's Ice Cream?
This commercial, I don't know what to call this. I don't think it's even considered a commercial. It's more like something used to promote ice cream made of babies? I have no idea.
I actually recently saw a behind-the-scenes video that actually shows how they made it look like the person is eating ice cream out of their head, and what they did was they distorted their head, and they kind of stretched out the look of the ice cream to make it look like there's a huge chunk out of the person's head. And as the commercial plays, you see this lifeless ice cream creature staring into your soul as this weird, creepy circus music plays, or I don't even know.
Also, she doesn't eat all the ice cream off the spoon. That's the scariest part. It's my OCD!
And you hear this quiet, raspy voice where the narrator slowly talks about how Little Baby's ice cream makes him feel so good. And not to mention that the second commercial isn't any better.
Go ahead and lick something. We lick you very much.
Now, in the second commercial, you hear the narrator talk about how he loves to lick things, and why licking things makes him feel the way he does. And I don't know if this is intended to be creepy, but chances are, if you watch this video, you are not going to want to buy ice cream afterwards. And the only reason why this video is not lower on the list is because I've watched it so many times, and I've pretty much been desensitized by it. But if you're a little kid and you're watching this video for the first time, do you really think this will make you want to go out and buy ice cream? Yeah, thought not. So remember, kids, if you ever see a naked ice cream creature driving a white van, just don't fall for it, even if it is advertising Little Baby's ice cream.
This is a special time.
No, it's really not.
Number 18.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Agamemnon counterpart. Now, at first glance, this is the most nonsensical, trippy, seizure-inducing, most pointless video on Earth. But let's tear it down. So, there's a theory circulating online that this video is actually a recording of a Japanese rape case. It states that a camera was taping the rape scene, and then the tape was lost and then found again in an old Japanese forest. The people who found it tried to overwrite the video with this distorted footage of what looks like an old 70s cartoon, but the footage only overwrote the visuals and not the audio. I guess that would explain the screams? Except for the fact that this whole Japanese rape theory is not true. None of it. Even the creator of the creepypasta admitted that it was fake. But where does this video come from? Well, if you look at the description, it says that the video was created by a guy named Jason Kovac, aka Dave, and then after says D2K1. D2K1 is actually just an abbreviation for an art contest called Destination Imagination 2001. Jason Kovac was working with a team of people on this art project? I don't really know. And for whatever reason, the video was uploaded in 2006. No one really knows what the backstory is to this video, why it was uploaded, or why the video is called Agamemnon Counterpart out of all titles. A theory that I like to think about is Agamemnon, as in the asteroid, crashed into this certain blue planet, which was most likely Earth, and left a cassette tape containing something to do with this video. The beginning part states that the cassette they mentioned does not hold this footage, which means that the cassette could hold the screams, or the music, or anything. I honestly just don't know anymore. But, even ignoring the supposed backstory, Agamemnon Counterpart is still a disturbing seizure-inducing mess all by itself. I mean, the visuals are trippy as balls and could lead to seizures if you're epileptic, and the childish music in the background, which is actually just a song from a 1976 film called The Human Tornado, is really, well, manic. And last but not least, the screams, which are also taken from a 1970s film called Cries from Within, are probably why the whole rape theory was created, because they sound hyper-realistic and really do sound like someone is being raped. I mean, just listen to these. This video is just really weird and for some reason hilariously stupid. No one really knows the truth behind this video, and we haven't really heard much information back from this Jason Kovac dude since the upload of this video. Does this mean he doesn't want to reveal more information, or is he dead? No one really knows, but we do know one thing. Agamemnon Counterpart is one of a kind.
Number 17.
Gregorys Room. So the funny thing is, I didn't even know about this video until recently. At school, my friend just showed it to me because he thought it was funny, and after viewing it, I started, kind of fake laughing, but in my head I was thinking, I'm putting this on my top 20 creepiest YouTube videos list now. So I did some research and found out that this is actually a Lost Nick Jr. pilot from 1999 from a show called, of course, Gregorys Room. So it starts off with a view of a room with what looks like this weird teddy bear creature sitting in a chair looking out the window. Then he introduces himself to the audience with this weird Go Animate sounding voice.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
He starts talking about how much fun we will have in his room, looking at the stars, or reading a book, or looking at the fire. At first, this video may seem kind of innocent. I mean, this guy probably just wants to have a friend to play with and stargaze with him. But then it starts to zoom in on his face as he says that we will have so much fun alone, with no police or parents or anyone around to see you. He starts slowly going insane, and the footage starts glitching. Gregory tells you to embrace him and give him love.
Gregorys Room has no door. It has no end.
Come, children, we must embrace the love of the mighty Gregory. For we will have so much fun in his endless journey. Just the two of us. Yes, yes.
Two of us. Yes, yes.
Guys, I'm sorry you had to hear that. I promise I did not do any cocaine before this recording. Gregorys Room is just a very mysterious video with little to no meaning behind it, and you begin to question why in the frick this is a Nick Jr. pilot. It's a shame the show didn't take off. It would be pretty interesting, actually.
I need love. Gregory needs love.
Number 16.
There is something wrong with Teddy. Don't worry, Teddy. The doctor's going to find out what is wrong. Count down from 10 now, Teddy.
Teddy has an operation. So, I don't really know what to say about this video. I mean, it's not really creepy, it's just freaking weird and slightly disturbing. So, it starts off with this actually relaxing voice narrating this video, saying that there is something wrong with Teddy. He goes on to remove Teddy's bonbon layer, his play pouch, his courage sack, and his... crotch unicorn. There isn't really a whole big message behind this video, and you might just think that the creator might have made the video to show off all the gross organs and details you can stuff into it. And several YouTubers tried their hand at debunking this thing. One YouTuber I found called YouTube Explained tried his hand at debunking the mystery behind this video, and he said something on the lines of, "This video is a metaphor for how you develop as you get older." He says that Teddy is supposed to represent us as children. Your bonbon layer was healthy and sweet, your courage sac was filled with curiosity, and your kidneys had healthy crayons. But as we get older, we start to lose this sense of curiosity, wonder, and patience. We become more self-aware, alert, fearful, and lose our sense of wonder. This video is not supposed to represent a transformation or a horrifying operation. It's just supposed to represent how we look back at how we've changed over the years. But that's just what some people think. Once again, even ignoring the supposed backstory to this thing, it can still be really disturbing. I mean, you're watching a guy take hyper-realistic looking organs out of a teddy bear. While it may be satisfying for some reason, just imagine if you were a little kid. You own a ton of stuffed animals, and you cuddle with your fuzzy teddy bear every night. Now, after watching this video, you may start to question if your teddy bear is okay, and you become nervous thinking, does my teddy bear really have all those organs? Do I need to help him? I mean, it's nowhere near the creepiest video on YouTube, but it can make you question the sanity of the creator, and if you're a young, innocent kid, this video might make you paranoid of teddy bears. This video is just disgusting and weird as all can be, but I also find this video fascinating and kind of creative and unique, but oh, trust me, we haven't seen anything yet.
We're just getting started.
Number 15, yes.
Girl goes psycho during makeup tutorial. So, this video starts off as a normal makeup tutorial would, with the person talking all vainly and telling people how to apply party makeup. Now, about midway into the video, the left half turns black, which may lead to questions, but then the lady just moves on with her tutorial like nothing happened. Overall, the video seems innocent. It's just a girl doing her makeup and showing everyone how to look nice. But at the 55-second mark, the screen turns black again, and something terrifying and inexplicable happens. Okay, now you all remember the first time you saw that. The image will never leave your brain, and you are left in such a world of uneasiness wondering, what the f*** just happened? Then it shows a screen displaying the 15 experience. Now, obviously this video is fake. Don't worry, this lady is fine. She did not actually bash her head into the table until she died. This lady is actually named Nikaya Seacrest, and she is a special effects artist. This clip is actually for a project called the 15 Experience, where a hacker breaks into 15 different security cameras in a haunted location and captures some paranormal activity going on inside. And the dark photo that shows in the left side of the screen is actually a room in the haunted house. The 15 Experience was an interactive horror film directed by Anastasi Lieros. But that's just more proof that the psycho makeup video is fake. But even if the video was real, why would the creator upload a video showing someone's death and slapping their logo on it to their website? Plus, Nikaya Seacrest herself even uploaded something on her Twitter celebrating almost 1 million views on the video back in June of 2014, which was over a month since the upload of this video. This psycho makeup video is nothing more than an ad for the 15 Experience movie, and it worked very well actually. But, once again, even ignoring the backstory, it's still a disturbing video all by itself. I mean, it doesn't matter if the video is fake or not, because this video has probably traumatized a lot of people, and just seeing the blood ooze out of her afterward is just so disgusting and horrible. And we all can't forget the first time you saw this video. That first hit, that first little hit, just makes you jump so fricking hard. You just don't expect it the first time. But at least we can all sleep knowing that the video is fake and that Nikaya Seacrest is okay. But I will say this, she is damn good at editing.
Number 14.
Creeper in my apartment. This isn't really a video where a character is created and the creator makes something directly creepy out of it. This is a video where something creepy is actually happening to someone in real time. The person in the video, named Joe Cummings, said that he had been finding food disappearing from his fridge. He suspected that it was his girlfriend trying to be funny, so Joe set up a camera to catch her in the act, but that's not what happened. Joe said that he thinks this girl got in through his window, but he lived on the top floor, so that would be really hard. This girl does things like stealing food out of his fridge, pissing in his sink, and even going to watch TV, I think. But I'm guessing if you were to secretly live in an apartment for about a year without getting caught, you would start to become less conscious of it. But regardless, this girl got caught, and Joe called the police. Many people believe this video is just a hoax and that the girl in the video is just his girlfriend playing, but Joe clearly states in the description that this video is 100% genuine and that he shit you not. Now, just watching this out of context can be somewhat creepy. I mean, the fact that the girl's a stalker and the ominous sounds, but the thing that truly makes this video creepy, however, is the very idea that you're not alone in your own house. When you sense another presence around you, even if you believe you're alone, someone might be there, and they might be watching you at this very moment. So, there's plenty of videos on the Paris Catacombs, but I'm just gonna focus on this one. Mystery footage found in Paris Catacombs. So, let's first get out of the way that Lisa Simpson is narrating this. Well, not really, but it just sounds weird and uncanny. Just like the video. So, there's these tunnels underneath Paris that stretch for hundreds of miles across the streets and beyond called, well, the Catacombs, which is basically just a fancy word for underground cemetery. You see the cameraman running as quick as possible as if his life is in danger, then he drops the camera and shows no interest in picking it up, and this camera was soon found to do research, and the footage shows pictures of bones and rotting objects, and these catacombs are known for being haunted and filled with millions of human remains, and the Paris government has since shut down every entrance to the catacombs for obvious reasons. Or so we've been led to believe. What if there's still ways into the catacombs? What if there's a whole gallery of ancient art or a contemporary society down there? No one really knows, and there's still a lot of obscure information about the catacombs. And you just feel this sense of dread and concern, and it makes you feel like you're actually in the catacombs with the cameraman. And this cameraman was never seen or heard from again. And that's extremely dark when you think about the fact that the Paris government had sealed off every known exit. But one thing's for sure, if you're claustrophobic or nyctophobic, or if you even have both, then this is your worst nightmare.
Which means that he's very deep inside the catacombs. What happened to him? Nobody knows.
Number 12.
Shay? Are you still doing that hand thing? I heard you're doing the hand thing today. God, what is that?
Yes, at the lucky number 12 spot, we have a video that many people have mixed opinions about. Some people find this hand thing hilarious, and some people find it absolutely horrifying. For me, personally, I have no idea what to think. So when you first start watching this hand thing video, you'll notice a person with a latex mannequin mask asking her, it's hard to tell what the mannequin mask, I'm just gonna call them a her because of what it's presented as. So, asking her friend if she is doing this hand thing. Then you see a girl with wooden arms doing said hand thing while making weird noises in the process. This character not only has a very unique name, but the name is also a massive tongue twister just to say. Her name is Shay St. John. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. She actually has a very dark backstory, though. Shay's backstory goes that she was once a supermodel who was rich and famous. She then got horribly injured in a car accident and tried reassembling herself with mannequin parts, thinking that that would help make her beautiful again. Now she lives in this fantasy where she believes that she is still rich and famous. And just thinking about that story may change the way you think about this video. If you were laughing about it, you might actually feel depressed, like I did when I first heard the backstory.
What's even worse, though, is the channel itself. Hinting is popular, but it's mostly because of the fact that that one is slightly innocent. Well, not really, but the entire channel is full of weird videos, and we won't go into too much detail, at least until next year where we talk about creepy channels. Most of the videos consist of... and...
very own show. Welcome to the world of J. St. John, everyone. Hi. Did you like to do this with my...
and let's not forget... Shay St. John herself is actually a character created by Eric Fournier, who sadly passed away back in February 2010. Shay St. John even had her own website dedicated to her, but it was taken down shortly after Fournier's death. While, yes, it was very poorly put together, it was probably filled with information that would have been essential to know the whole truth behind Shay.
The first time you watch Hand Thing, it makes absolutely no sense. But after some research, you slowly begin to realize that the video has a deeper meaning than what you think. Even after 10 years, Shay's channel still remains one of the most well-known horror channels on YouTube. While her channel may look kind of crappy now compared to the others, Shay St. John is the main online channel that pretty much started the bandwagon of creepy YouTube channels. The Hand Thing is no exception. Truly a weird and confusing video that can either make you laugh or feel terrified. Pick your poison.
Good. You've been doing this for 24/7. So you've been doing the hand thing all day? Heard you were.
It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses.
Japanese Kleenex commercial. Once again, another infamous video on YouTube that retained its fame way back in the day. This is a commercial for the popular tissue brand Kleenex that features a little child that appears to be painted a dark orange, sprouting green hair, and a horn, and a woman who is making these weird gestures towards the child before tossing a Kleenex into the air. The commercial started airing back in 1986, and it immediately received negative feedback. People claimed that it was creepy and the song made them feel uncomfortable. Some have even gone as far as to say that the commercial is cursed and that the song is some type of Russian ritual, or that the song changes depending on what time of day it is. People have recorded themselves watching this commercial at midnight, and some of the results are pretty weird. People also say that the actors are all dead and long gone and have never been heard from since this commercial. People also say that bad things will happen after you watch this video and that you will die. Have you noticed that I've been saying the words "people also say" or "some have said" a lot? Well, that's because all of these are rumors. No one died, this commercial isn't cursed, this song isn't some demonic ritual, this is just an ordinary Kleenex commercial from Japan. I mean, sure, it's weird and disturbing, but it's just a Kleenex commercial. The woman featured in this commercial is actually named Kiko Matsuzaka, and she is still alive to this day. And the song is actually just an old song called "It's a Fine Day" by Jane. But even still, just the slow melody of the song "It's a Fine Day" alone can give you the chills. Even without the Kleenex commercial, just listen.
And they look look at the grass, they look at the sky.
This commercial is creepier than it needs to be, and I don't get the intentions of these creators. No one really does, and I think people were just creating stories to try and explain it. But who knows, maybe humanity is just insane.
It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow.
Kleenex ティッシュです。
I feel fantastic. Yet another famous video on YouTube that has sparked the imaginations of many. So this video features a female android named Tara who sings the words, "I feel fantastic." She sings it in a way where it's gentle but still unnerving. In the body language Tara shows alone, her hands, her staring into the camera, and the way she moves her mouth is enough to make you feel slightly uneasy. At the 1 minute 47 second mark, we just see this random zoom in of a backyard that seemingly serves no meaning. Actually, Tara was created by a serial killer who dressed Tara up in his victim's clothing, and the zoom in of the backyard is actually where the bodies are buried to rot for eternity. You can even hear Tara say, as if she is trying to warn the next victim. Or worse, is one of the victims speaking through Tara? And "I feel fantastic" is what this serial killer expects the victim to say as he is killing them. No one knows who this serial killer was, and we can't really find any evidence anywhere. And do you want to know why? Because it turns out this whole story is fake. Don't worry, the serial killer isn't real, Tara is not possessed by a demon, at least I hope. And that just raises further questions to what the backyard shot is supposed to mean. Tara was actually created by a man named John Bergeron, who wanted to do nothing more than create a singing android, but Tara didn't pick up fame in the way Bergeron hoped, as it came off as completely terrifying and creepy, and he still refuses to discuss it to this day. Which may also explain why the uploader hasn't uploaded anything since. A girl tried having a conversation with Bergeron over the phone about Tara. Bergeron kept saying that he had other things to do and that he didn't want to talk, which just shows how much of a toll this singing android's infamy had taken on him. I Feel Fantastic is a truly terrifying video, especially since people were so traumatized by Tara that her own creator refuses to speak of it. This is one of those videos that, even after you leave the video, you still hear Tara's disturbing singing in your mind, and it cannot escape. Truly a disturbing video, and definitely worth a spot on pretty much every creepy YouTube videos list. You all knew this was going to be on the list somewhere, so let's just come right on out with it. Obey the Walrus. So this video starts off with the Star Fox character Andros singing Itsy Bitsy Spider in Japanese. Then the video shows these weird flashy images with the song being sped up. And then this happens. People have said that this video is actually the work of a Mexican cult called La Morsa, translating to the Walrus in English, but that theory is not true. The transgender person in this video is actually named Johnny Bema, and these clips are taken from a documentary about Bema's life called The Goddess Bunny. They say that Bema had suffered a lot of sexual abuse as a child and wanted to further his career in the future as a drag queen. Johnny Bema then changed his name to Sandy Crisp and did just that, and he did pretty well. During this video, you can see that he walks in a weird twisted manner like he has no idea how to walk, but Crisp actually suffers from a leg disease called polio. Kinda sad when you think about it, and kinda makes you feel bad for laughing at this video the first time you saw it. But back to the point. Who's the creator of this video? Where does it come from? And why is it creepy? Honestly, no one knows who the original creator was or their intentions. Many people say that bad things happen after watching this video, but that just depends. The thing that makes this video creepy, however, is not the supposed subliminal messages, the fake cult, or demonic possession. It's the very way that your brain has trouble processing what is going on. The person dancing, the sloshy colors, and the drowned-out anime-sounding music, all of this makes your brain feel uncomfortable, and it gives you this irrational sense of fear and anxiety. You would probably feel bad for laughing at this video after knowing what had happened in this person's life, but even still, Obey the Walrus remains one of the most weird, mysterious, and most unsettling things you'll find on YouTube.
But we have to move on. There's still 8 more to come.
Heads up, we're kinda cheating with this list because we could not decide what videos of these two channels to put on, and that and these channels are really disturbing, so it's kind of a 2-in-1, but anyway, let's get back into it.
10A51CDO is a channel that is infamous for having creepy videos that contain strange and often disturbing imagery, as well as distorted screams in the background of almost every video, as well as him/her stalking people. And of course, if you're well known on YouTube, people will try to imitate you. Meet the fake version of 01A51CDO, a person who has hopped on the disturbing videos bandwagon. Only his videos are a lot darker. Some videos are from the original, while others are this.
So, 01A5, screw it, I'm just gonna call him 01ASICDO. So the original channel was first created on November 11th, 2011. Pretty weird and specific date, don't you think? 01ASICDO uploads videos consisting of short clips of the Bud Dwyer suicide, bunny and/or gorilla masks, and like Acid said, distorted screams and grating sound effects in the background of every video. At first, when you see 01ASICDO's video titles, they may look like some type of foreign language. Actually, his titles are written upside down. Here's a few examples. It's not over. Waiting patiently. You did well. And the wait is over. 01ASICDO's channel has been inactive ever since December 26, 2011, which means that there probably won't be any more 01ASICDO videos. Or so we thought.
Remember the fake channel? The one I was talking about earlier? While yes, there is a lot of them, this fake one takes the cake by having the most disturbing imagery I have seen in a very, very long time. This channel is super weird, in a bad way. One video shows growths and deformities on other people and babies, while the other looks like what you would see after taking one too many LSDs. And while yes, I do hate clones of other YouTube channels, this one is one of the few that I can genuinely feel scared of. One that can top the original's creepiness, and one I would never watch alone at night.
It was kinda hard for us to choose which of these channels to put, but we just could not decide. One could be more cryptic than the other one, while another could top itself with disturbing imagery. Body of a pig. This is a video made by paranormal investigators who were exploring a location that was deemed to be haunted, and upon entering the building, this eerie, robotic voice can be heard saying, While the phrase may not be that scary, knowing that this ghost is probably haunting this so-called abandoned building is just chilling. The investigators proceed to take a picture inside the little compartment they opened up, and this is what they found. That just caps it off. That right there is what makes this video as creepy and famous as it is. That ghost, for some reason, kind of looks like a grayscale version of Groot. I don't know why I brought that up, I just thought it was kind of funny. Many people believe this video is fake, and it's not very hard to see why. When they're taking the picture, there's not really anything in there that can be seen. And the robotic-sounding voice saying, "I have the body of a pig," could very likely be a slowed-down version of the voices of the people who made this video. But it doesn't matter if this video is fake or not. Body of a Pig is a really confusing video that can tamper with the way your brain thinks about ghosts. I personally 100% believe that ghosts exist, but that's just a matter of opinion. Even though this video may have a 50-50 chance of being fake, there's no denying that it is one of the most confusing, weird, unsettling videos online. The Wyoming Incident. This video mimics the case of television hacking, as it starts off with old footage from a Wyoming news channel from about 30 years ago, and then cuts to this weird screen that reads,
"We present a special presentation."
After that, the video claims that you will see such pretty things. The rest of the video is just this ominous ambient music playing in the background, along with weird messages and clips of staticky, distorted, disembodied heads showing these weird emotions. Well, this video certainly makes others feel emotions of fear. There's actually a creepypasta based off of this video with the same name. The creepypasta states that people started feeling lightheaded and nauseous after watching this video, and many people deem the video to be paranormal. While it's definitely nightmare-inducing, Wyoming Incident is likely nothing more than an attempt at being creepy. But it still succeeds very well at that. This video isn't really the most unique or special video on YouTube, but it's certainly terrifying. Just to think, we've come all this way and seen some pretty messed up stuff, but now we must journey into the top 5, the hardcore, creepy side of YouTube. 20 through 15 were just amateur hour creepy, and the last part of the list was full of videos that had me shaking at worst, but now we must dive to the very bottom, the abyss of YouTube, the deep, dark, scary, sweaty abyss. What, were you expecting a jump scare? Dining room, or there is nothing. Or just there is nothing. Well, the title says that you can call it one of two things, but most people just call it there is nothing because that's what the video is about, and what am I even talking about anymore? Anyway, there is nothing. This is possibly one of the oldest creepy YouTube videos, if not the oldest. Yes, even older than Agamemnon counterpart. So, time to talk about this video. So There Is Nothing is one of the only creepy videos on YouTube where its existence is completely understood. There Is Nothing is actually a short film directed by David B. Earl, who was inspired by paradoxical desire to show that there is nothing on the other side of life. This video is like a metaphor for life in a way, because no one truly has any idea when life begins or ends. So, this person, doll? I'm just gonna call it a person so it sounds in context. So, the first time this person speaks, you can't really make out what she says. And then she dips her head in the bowl and apparently dies, or comes back to life, depending on how you see it. And after realizing that there's no heaven or hell, she lifts her head back out of the bowl, and what she says becomes very clear. This is to stimulate the effect that this person is either coming back from life or death. Once again, the creator of the short film, David B. Earl, also said that you can endlessly loop the film over and over again without having any idea where it begins or ends. Kind of like having no idea where this person's life begins or ends. It all makes sense now. Even just the sheer concept of this video is a hard thing to think about. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. Literally everyone gets lost in their mind at some point trying to contemplate their existence, because what if there truly is nothing on the other side of life? Will you feel anything after you die? Do you even matter in the universe? What is the point of doing anything? What is the meaning of anything? What does it mean to die? Death is a scary and weird thing to think about for sure, but it's very real. But most people don't even pay attention to the backstory, as the video itself is just plain creepy. I mean, you're watching this robotic doll that is staring into your soul. And when the camera zooms out, you start to feel more and more uneasy, thinking that something will pop up. And as the camera slowly zooms in closer, your body starts to crunch up and your soul squeezes down to the size of a raisin as you helplessly watch this video, wondering what horrible thing is going to happen next. And the thing is, at least Tara's voice from I Feel Fantastic was more relaxing in a way, but this will never leave your brain. The ominous music, the doll's disturbing robotic voice, and most importantly, the face of death eating out your soul, all combined into one little package, is enough to make you feel paranoid for weeks. And that is why I believe There Is Nothing deserves to be at the number 5 spot. Truly a very disturbing video that will make you feel uneasy, but also one of the most well-made and unique videos on the internet. ELISA Lam. While the other videos on this list had a very high chance of being fake or having a backstory that is very confusing, the story behind ELISA Lam is 100% real, and it is so messed up on so many levels. The story goes like this. In February 2013, 21-year-old ELISA Lam was staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. The Cecil Hotel was once rented out by the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez and the Vienna Strangler Jack Utterweger, and is also believed to be the last place the Black Dahlia had been seen before she was mysteriously murdered. And the Cecil Hotel has gotten numerous reports of being haunted. As you can see, the girl ELISA Lam is in an elevator, and she's moving her hands around like she's trying to conjure something up or look for any paranormal activity going on. And this elevator keeps malfunctioning and the door stays open. After ELISA leaves, however, the elevator starts working again and the door closes. As if that already isn't weird enough, it gets way more messed up. ELISA Lam mysteriously disappeared, and the people at the hotel didn't know where she was for about 3 weeks. Guests at the hotel began noticing that the water was tasting foul and that it was a dark brown color. You'd think that these idiots would be smart enough not to drink water that looked brown, but I guess people just assumed that the workers put chocolate in the water to make it taste better? Anyway, yes, this really is as real and messed up as it sounds. The brown color in the water was actually the decomposing body of ELISA Lam. On February 19th, 2013, one of the workers climbed up to the water tower on the roof of the hotel and found that the lid was slightly opened. And when he opened up the tower, he found the naked, decaying corpse of ELISA Lam. Well, at least the worker didn't make a video of him showing the body and making out with it. And I know this was a long one, guys, but to talk about ELISA Lam, you really need to explain it in full detail because this is a truly horrible, terrifying, and sad thing. And it still remains unknown how ELISA died. The reasoning behind her weird behavior in the elevator, how she got onto the roof and into a bolted shut water tower, and how she passed a locked and alarmed door, all still remain unknown. I hate to call this video creepy as opposed to saddening, but it really is creepy because there is so much information that remains unknown about this incident, and what happened to her was just so terrifying and horrible. And when you have all this information in your head about the whole ELISA Lam backstory, this video of her in an elevator becomes 1,000 times creepier.
And before you ask,
But what if she was on drugs, or what if she was drinking?
no, she was not. Her autopsy that was taken showed that she was not the victim of drugs or alcohol. So there was something else that was happening that night making her act this way. Not only are you witnessing a girl in an elevator, you're witnessing the final moments of a young 21-year-old's life. And as if this already wasn't creepy enough, there's still 3 more to come.
Suicide Mouse is a video that is said to compel people to commit suicide, as it shows Mickey Mouse walking down a road looking like he's trying to contemplate something. While this story is really just an urban legend, that doesn't make the video any less creepy. People that have already had depression issues might watch this video and feel even worse. Depression and suicidal thoughts are a very serious thing, and this video is the last thing you want to see or do research about if you have these kind of feelings. But even if you are not suicidal, Suicide Mouse is still a very spine-rattling video that is sure to make you feel terrified. So obviously the first thing you notice is Mickey Mouse walking down the road. This is actual footage from an old Mickey Mouse cartoon the creator made all distorted looking with very horrific music and... yeah. And also, let's not forget this very horrifying scream. The sound of what sounds like a person being murdered. The final third of this video consists of Mickey's face slowly becoming more and more psychotic. And as you hear the bloody murder scream, it just never ends. Mickey Mouse then flops over and apparently kills himself. Before this random jump scare that freaks you out so much, if you weren't freaked out already, part of the urban legend behind this Suicide Mouse video states that no one has ever made it to the last 30 seconds of the video except one guy who killed himself shortly after. But once again, that's just an urban legend, and the most important thing to realize is, this is Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, a children's character from Disney, a famous icon of cartoons that has shaped many kids' imaginations for decades. Seeing Mickey Mouse in a scenario like this just really attacks something that a kid feels around, like, any cartoon show. If you were to show Suicide Mouse to an innocent little kid who enjoys watching Mickey Mouse, that kid would never feel the same. Weirdly enough, Suicide Mouse is kind of a #1 scary video for me, which is why I'm guest starring in this video. But this is Dylan's list. He can have his opinions. If I made my own list, this would easily be #1. Suicide Mouse is very disturbing, and the sounds and the imagery will stick with you long after you watch this video.
So, I want you to listen to this and try to make out anything that can possibly be said or understood. What even is this? Why does this video even exist? Well, I'm gonna try to explain it as best as possible, so here goes nothing, I guess. Karl Mayer. This is possibly the most obscure and mysterious video on YouTube, and no one really talks about it, and I honestly can't blame them because what can really be said about it? I mean, you have these random images of flowers, clowns, etc., and in the background is this... I wouldn't really say music. It's more like hellish sounds of children laughing and screaming, and that's the entire video. Yeah, there's nothing really to say. It's just over 3 solid minutes of weird sounds and images. Some not so disturbing and some, well, slightly. But something about this video just really creeps me the frick out. I don't know if it's the sounds, or if it's my brain struggling to process what's happening, or anxiety, but after watching this video, the sounds are stuck in your mind. Now, I know I've used this same point over and over again, like in I Feel Fantastic, Wyoming Incident, and There Is Nothing. Those are all videos that have this effect on you, but at least Tara's voice is kind of gentle, and the parts in There Is Nothing with this effect are kind of quick. And Wyoming Incident isn't extremely loud, except for one part, but Karl Mayer is freaking obnoxious and can make you feel very paranoid. I can watch this video and hear a car driving by or see my cat walk into the room and get scared. Karl Mayer is the video that has done some of the most damage to me, and it shows. The creator of this video is unknown, and the backstory of it is unknown. Karl Mayer is very confusing, and while it may be nothing more than a bunch of pictures, something about it is just really terrifying that's really hard to explain. Now, before we get to number 1, I would just like to list a few honorable mentions. Fatal diving accident. This video is about a Russian man named Yuri Lipsky at a diving site who tragically died from being subject to nitrogen narcosis. This causes the brain to play tricks on you and make you feel overconfident and overwhelmed. And Yuri also only had 1 tank of air, which didn't really do any better for him. I always just found this video more saddening than creepy because you're watching an innocent man plummet to his death and he can't do anything about it. You literally can't even breathe right while watching this video. Transfiguration Performance Oliver de Sagazan. This video is just weird. I mean, it's a little creepy, yes, but mainly just weird. At one point, the video references a creepypasta titled Gateway to the Mind. And you kind of feel a bit shaky wondering what terrifying thing is about to happen next, but I actually found this video somewhat hilarious. And no, this guy is not a psychopath, he's just an ordinary guy doing some art project. He actually talks about some really deep philosophical stuff in his other videos, and it's actually kind of interesting. K-Fee Auto Commercial. This is arguably the most popular jump scare video out there, but at this point, jump scares are just some of the most cheap forms of horror out there. I mean, of course something's gonna jump out at you, of course you're gonna jump the first few times, but it just starts to lose all effect on you. Edward Muscare singing Pretty Woman. The old dude singing in this video is actually a real-life sex offender, and when you have that in your head, this somewhat innocent video of him singing Pretty Woman becomes way more creepy. But I will say this, every time I hear the song Pretty Woman, I just cannot get this old dude out of my head. It's so weird. Username 666. Just a video of YouTube getting more and more distorted, and a few loud blips and slamming noises, and that's about it. Baby Laugh-A-Lot doll commercial. Enough said. Morso. Morso is some weird sheep-looking character from some obscure TV show from Finland! And this distorted footage of him really shows why Morso was one of the creepiest kids show characters ever made. And with all of that said, let's get to number 1. So, you're probably wondering, after all the damage Karl Mayer had done to me, what could possibly top it? Well, remember how I said this while talking about ELISA Lam? Well, at least the worker didn't make a video of him showing the body and making out with it. Well, if you've seen it before, you know what video I'm talking about. And if you haven't, well, you're lucky. And if it's 3 a.m. and you've made it to this point in the video, then you're braver than I am. So here we go. My number one pick. In my opinion, the creepiest video on all of YouTube. My dead great-grandma's coffin in my own backyard. Okay, just the title of that sounds kind of weird. But hey, never judge a book by its cover, right? Let's get into the video! Well, okay then. So, my dead great-grandma's coffin in my own backyard. God, that title is tedious to say. Let's just call it Dead Great-Grandma. So, this video actually has a pretty interesting story behind it. So this man, who is deaf by the way, which is why he's communicating with sign language, talks about his dead great-grandma's coffin, and that the burial site for it was being closed down for groundwork purposes. Because of this, all of the bodies had to be moved. So this guy decided to take the body into his backyard. And while that may sound kind of creepy, this video is actually pretty innocent. I guess I was wrong. This video isn't creepy at all. Why did I even put it on the list? Now, if this guy maybe just showed a few shots around the coffin or just stopped it when he finished talking, this video would have been fine. But going to open up the coffin and show multiple shots of your great-grandma's decaying corpse? No! Just no! Isn't this illegal? Why is this video on YouTube? I'll tell you why. Because people out there actually think this video is beautiful and sexual. In whose eyes is a video like this in any way, shape, or form beautiful? Maybe to necrophiliacs or through the eyes of Satan, but this is YouTube for crying out loud. Little kids watch this website. I mean, dude, it's fine if you love and miss your great-grandma. I can understand and relate to that, but going out of your way to open up her coffin and show entire full-fledged shots of the corpse and then kissing her on the lips? Dude, I'm pretty sure this is illegal. Especially on YouTube. I mean, at least with the other videos, they weren't going against any YouTube guidelines or attempting something possibly illegal. At least all the other videos previous were just for the intentions of scaring people, getting points across, or just for fun. But this is a whole nother level. Opening up a coffin, showing everything, kissing and licking the corpse on the lips, and shamelessly uploading this stuff to YouTube. This dude... He needs help. Does he even know the meaning of rest and peace? I don't know if he's a necrophiliac or a person who's into creepy as stuff, but this video just has it all. And yes, while this video also has many possible ways of being fake, many evidence surrounding the video stated that it was 100% real. I don't know, you guys can make your own conclusions, but Dead Great-Grandma, or my dead great-grandma's coffin in my own backyard, just takes the cake for me at being the absolute creepiest video on YouTube. This is truly what nightmares are made of. Screw dolls or monsters. This is genuinely nightmare fuel. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this 3-part list. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm sure you guys loved it too. And I'm also sorry if I may have screwed you out of several days of sleep, but it's you that clicked on this video, and I gave you what you came here for. Now, goodbye, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas.